Well, I'm the lucky one at the end, the last presentation for you before you go into discussion. But I wanted to compliment you on that study where ocean rise is concerned, and there's subsidence happening as well. If you're interested, go to NOAA's site, and they've just released a calculator, full version calculator on ocean rise as of last week. It was a beta version, it's now come up, and the facts are there. I think you'll enjoy reading them to get the awareness on it. NOAA. Right, sir. So it's being led by NOAA. It has been a study which was started in 2018. I sit on the board of NOAA, and it has been on. We've seen studies. The final version, it was a beta version for the last 3 years. It got released last week on the website. Check it out, you'll be pleasantly surprised because it looks into subsidence and it looks into ocean rise. And the world's biggest ice shelf in the northern hemisphere sits on the east coast of Greenland. And there's an expedition which just got over in September where they found that the full ice shelf is actually getting eroded from underneath 450 meters depth because of the ocean currents and salt water entering what we call the salt sill. The salt sill has been breached, so it's actually melting from underneath rather than from top. But amazing discussion. Well, that's who I am, and thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Such a pleasure. So nice. Okay, so there's this fear that what is ESG? It's very important for the maritime industry to understand. ESG is not a trend. It's not hip today and will go tomorrow. It's the way life is going to be, like we said, for 2050, where carbon is concerned, that's where this is going. There's a very nice, it's the new benchmark in maritime excellence. I think we have a challenge in the maritime industry. We mix ESG with regulatory compliance. Remember, ESG is not about regulatory compliance. It's about best management practices. That's really where it is working on. It's about operational resilience. It's about driving enhancement of safety, because it has a direct impact on it. If you have more resilience, you have fewer accidents. Just throwing some facts at you on the accident side of it. 2018, we had 185 accidental deaths at sea. We have been increasing every year at a rate of 10% after that. And it's not recorded. The insurance companies, the P&I clubs record it. It's not on public databases. There's an NGO out of Netherlands who also records it. The other factor which we want to highlight is this: if you do the operational resilience and driving enhanced safety, what do you land up with? You land up with more efficiency, which results into profitability in dollars. We are a business, we want to make more money, this is the way to go about it. You need to learn more about it and work it in that way. It's talking about best management practices, very critical to understand that, not compliance. Compliance is a reason to exist. If you're not compliant, the government would take away your license to exist. This is about best management practices. It's about good governance. The G is best. Remember we said leadership, Mr. Ali said leadership, that's where it's coming from. If you had to recoin ESG, you would actually say GSE in priority. Governance is absolutely key. Then, of course, we have social, and whether we call it social as in people or society as in people, because they're all stakeholders. And stakeholders include employees. And last but not the least, we are talking about the environment. And that's best management practices in the environment. What does a playground look like in maritime? We've discussed it for the full day. We have minimum regulatory compliance. What do shipping companies try? Just give me bare minimum compliance. Nobody is striving for best management practices. The companies who are striving are far superior. That's why the shipping industry as such has become multi-segmented. Earlier there was just the haves and the have-nots. Today there are perhaps at least 10 tiers of it. There is a huge amount of skepticism. We heard about it today. As mankind, if all we believed was skepticism, do you think we would be sitting in this room with those cell phones or those wonderful satellites which Elon Musk has put up? Somebody had to challenge the paradigm to come up with a better solution. In shipping, we have to challenge that paradigm. That skepticism has to go. It's that factor, why someone else? Why not you? You want to be led, or do you want to lead? Transparency, we already discussed, and there is a lack of transparency in maritime. Let's accept that, and we need to get more transparent. It's been a demand of our customers and society. We have a dark fleet. We gave birth to it only 1,000 days ago, right? After the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And today it's an accepted fact. And this is 21st century, guys. We are in 2024. What's wrong with this picture? We are not 200 years ago or 400 years ago. We have a regulatory deficit. Most of the regulatory structures coming out of IMO are based on minimum compliance, are based on minimum agreed consensus, as it was explained to us how decisions are made at IMO. Is that what society wants? We've seen how the EU has done what they've done. They've kept a gun on the head of IMO and said, do this or else. We will make our own regulations. We've seen Scandinavia do it. We know Norway is coming out with new ESRS requirements applicable to maritime from 1st of January. We know that. So the train has left the station. What do our customers, shipping is a service, right? We are a glorified transport service. Let's accept that. What do our customers want from us? Our customers want reliability. For reliability, we have to be resilient. Are we resilient or are we striving for it? They want alignment with their ESG and sustainability principles. This is the reason they are asking you for sustainability reports. This is where they're coming from. Are you complying with your customers' requirements as a vendor? That's the question, and how transparent you are in that space. Transparency? They want transparency and we're not able to give them. Find me a shipping company which has not hid facts from the charterers and the cargo interests. Find me a company. Guys, I've done investigations. I'm an actuarian. For 8 years, I did actuarial work. So I have global analytics on my fingertips, and I can tell you, you'll be difficult to find a company. They're looking for partnerships, collaborations, and we're not working in that space. And we said earlier that we need collaborations to go ahead in this. So maybe it's an opportunity for us. Maybe it's a wake-up call for us. With that, let's look at our larger stakeholder group. What are they looking at? We saw COP15, Paris. We saw COP26, Glasgow. All the financial rules were made. We saw COP27, where greenwashing was really called out for and said, let's stop greenwashing. Let's walk the talk. COP28 was here in Dubai. And what did we do? We came up with money. We said, let's talk about energy pragmatism, and let's talk about equal distribution, access to energy. And COP29, which is going on now, we are again talking about money. Earlier, we thought we would get $20 billion a year to the developing world. I believe this week we are finalizing on somewhere around $100 billion a year. But where's that money going to come from will still be questionable. We've got the SDGs. You're seeing the wheel. Are we following them? What are we doing about it? Or are we leading dual lives on it? SDGs are more related to states. They're not related to companies. Companies is really UN SDGs. UN Global Compact. That is more corporate. But that's more Fortune 500. Then we've got GRI, very nice standards. They're working on their 42nd standard at this time. They're looking at about 75 of them. Shipping is not even on their radar. They're still, actually, finance is being looked at right now as we speak. We're hoping next year finance final version comes out. And SASB. SASB is a financial reporting requirement where shipping companies are concerned, but there they are talking about basic safety of seafarers as a KPI for ESG, which we know basic safety is a requirement under the ISM code. So there's a mix-up on the financial reporting side under SASB. When we talk about the environmental pillar, what are we looking at? We're talking about reduced emissions, we're talking about fuel efficiency, we already said, minimizing ecological footprint of our shipping operations. That's exactly what we're talking. That's the larger picture. When we talk about leadership, what are we looking at? We're looking managed ethically, transparently, and efficiently. We heard ethics today. That was missing in shipping. We heard transparency. And we all want to lead to efficiency. Respond quickly. Remember, we have said that how the world is changing, how shipping has changed. We saw some presentations. We did not see how the environment and nature is changing. The storms are getting more robust. We've had a Category 5 storm develop from Category 1 storm in 24 hours. It has never been recorded before. When we talk about prioritizing of seafarers, we've spoken so much about seafarers. Where is that coming from? We're really talking about their well-being. We are talking about fair labor practices, about welfare, diversity, inclusion, engagement. These are key factors which we need to walk away with. That's what ESG is about. A resilient shipping operation depends on a healthy, well-trained, and motivated crew. All of us want that. But to grow a mango tree, first you have to take out the lemon tree and plant a mango tree. Please understand that. You cannot get mangoes out of a lemon tree. With that, these are various factors you can see open to you for questions. And I just have 7 seconds, but I want to show you a statement by the father of the nation of UAE. That's his statement. I hope you can read it. And it talks about, it was written many, many years ago, but what it's really talking about is conserving, preserving for succeeding generations. This is perhaps one of the definitions of ESG. So it's not a new science, it's really changing your company culture to become better, more responsible consumers. That's all what we're looking at in ESG. Thank you, everyone. Looking forward to the discussion.